Welcome to the Real Health Rebellion Radio with Dr. Ron and Dr. Jerry, at the show that refuses to bow to the broken sick care system. We're here to expose the lies, reveal the suppressed truths, and empower you to reclaim your health, your freedom, and your future. This isn't just another podcast, it's a movement, a rebellion. Together, we'll bridge science and spirit, spotlight real solutions.
Okay.
Yeah, Ron, nothing's gone.
And
Okay. It looks like we had a little audio glitch there, which is not unusual for Dr. Ron. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Real Health Rebellion Radio, and I am accompanied by my two good friends and co-hosts, Dr. Jerry Smith and Dr. William Wong.
Howdy.
As they say in Texas, how do you? How do you?
Yep.
Okay, are we live, gentlemen?
Yes, we are.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was a heck of a start. That was a great start to this program. We are there's somebody's rebellion against us. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this program today. This is going to be, yes. Well, I think what I have to do here is get rid of this Instagram. It's going crazy on us. So it is gone. Now, can we hear each other?
Yes.
Yep.
Good. Nice and clear.
All right. So it was Instagram messing us up. So, well, here we go. We're to try and get back on schedule here. Today, we're going to take the fight right down to the cellular level, ladies and gentlemen, because aging isn't random, and it sure as hell is not inevitable. It's engineered. It's engineered by a modern world that poisons your mitochondria and profits from the fallout, but not today. We're going to expose it. We're going to help you reclaim your biology, and we're going to start the mitochondrial awakening. And I talked about a term months ago called be a mitochondriac, because the mitochondria are critical for your power. They are the power plants. The sick care system blacks them out. And the truth is simple. When your energy collapses, your life collapses, and we're here to flip the switch back on, and you don't need anybody's permission from any institution or anybody else. You just need the truth and the tools and the will to rebel. So buckle up, get your duct tape ready, and we're going to start off today with Dr. Jerry Smith. Welcome, Dr. Jerry. All right, we have him here someplace. Oh, he went off. All right, we'll get you back.
Protection program.
Here we go.
I'm in the Witness Protection Program. That's it. Anyway, I'll share with you some key facts about mitochondria. Interestingly, it's an intracellular structure, and it produces 95% of the energy of the body. Interestingly, from a genetic perspective, mitochondrial DNA is inherited from the mother only, not from the father. Mitochondrial dysfunction plays a central role in nearly every degenerative disease. And of a little pearl, red blood cells are the only cell in the body that does not contain mitochondria. Your muscles have the highest mitochondrial content of any tissue in the body. Chronic, now there's the biggie with society today. Chronic disuse of muscles, sedentary behavior, aging, each independently result in a decline in your mitochondrial content and function, leading to production of free radicals. It's the free radicals from the energy production that causes the damage to the mitochondria. Your standard American diet, sedentary lifestyle, ubiquitous amounts of toxins in our society make today's generation far more susceptible to mitochondrial dysfunction than ever before. What's also very, very important is the thyroid function. T3 acts as the nucleus to influence the expression of genes involved in the regulation of cellular metabolism and mitochondrial function. So once inside the cell, thyroxine must be converted to T3 to utilize the mitochondria. Potassium plays a role in sensitizing the mitochondria to the thyroid hormone. So there, you can see there's an interplay with nutrients, with the membranes, with trace minerals. The fluoride in your drinking water, the bromine in your bleached bread, and the chlorides found in your also drinking water, and the bleach that they use to make the flour pure white inhibits thyroid hormone utilization. So they also interfere with the iodine metabolism, and also substances in soy and raw cabbage and cauliflower and broccoli also inhibit thyroid utilization. Another interesting trivia bit of information is manganese deficiency can reduce thyroid activity. Manganese is required for T4 production. Manganese deficiency or bio unavailability are very common today. Adrenal exhaustion causes manganese to become bio unavailable. And adrenal exhaustion is why people have to grab their Starbucks coffee first thing in the morning to get their motor running. Cadmium toxicity or zinc deficiency can cause thyroid hormone to be ineffective in stimulating energy production. So it's very, very important that you understand these basic concepts. If you're not getting these nutrients in your diet, you're sputtering. It's like your motor's pinging going up a hill, basically. A couple other little tidbits here. The heart muscle, 40% of the cytoplasm in the heart is mitochondria. And your liver basically is 20 to 25% mitochondria per cell. So the key in the whole thing is you need to take antioxidant vitamins and trace minerals to protect the mitochondria in your body. And later on, we'll get into a discussion on what nutrients, what specific nutrients will enhance mitochondrial production. So I just give you a little 40,000 foot overview there on some basic pearls.
Okay, and before we get to the only one of us that has a PhD in physiology, I'm going to give you my 2 cents on a few things, and that is the sick care system. If the public, ladies and gentlemen, if you only understood about the mitochondria, and you just heard a lot from Dr. Jerry, half the prescriptions in America would disappear overnight. So we've been sold a lie, and most of it is mitochondrial suffocation. And we'll get into the seed oils that oxidize the cardiolipin, which is one of the 2 layers of the mitochondria. The ultra-processed foods destroy the mitochondrial enzymes. And we must not forget the blue light toxicity. It's killing us. Chronic statin use. We've been marketed about statins like they're trying to market us about antidepressants and GLP-1 inhibitors. But chronic statin use drains CoQ10, and I'm sure Dr. Jerry will have more to say on that. And the electromagnetic fields, which no allopathic physician is going to talk to you about, they alter mitochondria signaling pathways. Medical schools don't teach mitochondrial biology. They teach drug pathways. Just like we do not have a cholesterol epidemic, we have a mitochondrial energy epidemic. So we're here today to help you rebuild the mitochondria, rebuild the person. Healthy mitochondriacs don't buy pharmaceuticals. That's why you don't hear about them. And now let's turn it over to our good friend, Dr. Will Wong, who he's written about this and talked about this for a long time. So Dr. Wong, I'm going to give you your correct name there. There we go. And the Dr. Wongism was on Podbean and other places.
Thank you. You know, as 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 Dr. Jerry said, most of the mitochondria is found in the voluntary muscles, in the muscles that we use to move around and do work with. 80% of the adenosine triphosphate, the blood sugar that the body runs everything on, is made in the muscular mitochondria. In things like chronic fatigue and Epstein-Barr, which is mononucleosis, the number of mitochondria drops. But also with aging, once you get over 40, 35, 40, the number of mitochondria in the muscle cells drop from, let's say, a few hundred or 1,000 or more to 10 or 20. And so imagine what happens when you have that precipitous drop in the number of mitochondria in your muscle cells. All of a sudden you go from being happy and being wonderful to kind of dragging along and maybe getting out of bed and maybe not. So when it behooves us for various reasons to maintain muscle mass, to maintain bone density, to maintain overall health, for survival, it behooves us to maintain our muscle mass and our strength well into old age. You should be a beautiful corpse when they put you in the box. You should look like Steve Reeves. The more muscle mass you lose, and here are the figures. We lose 10% muscle mass a year between 50 and 60, so that by the time we get to 60 years old, we're at bare bones minimum muscle mass to move ourselves around, unless we're weight training.
Really great point. Really great point. And you've made that point on our podcast before about how weight training actually supersedes aerobic training.
Oh gosh, yeah. You may not have to run down the street to catch the postman because he didn't pick up a letter that you left in the mailbox, but you need to open up a jar of pickles. You need to open your car door. You need to get that pot off the bottom, off of the top shelf. You need to pick up a suitcase. Everything in our daily lives involves some form of strength, from mopping to just plain getting out of bed. So, when you're old and broken down and can barely get out of your recliner, it's not aerobic capacity that's going to help you do that. It's muscular strength.
Well, Bill, what you got to do is convince the TV manufacturers to put lead weights in the remote, so you.
There was one guy back in the 70s or 80s, maybe might have been the 90s, where if his kids wanted to watch TV, they had to pedal on a bike that ran a generator that ran a television.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, so this is a story that you're not getting on the news, you're not getting in the papers, you're not even getting it from your physician, because pharmaceuticals is what they know to use. It's a pill for an ill, and there's no profit in oxygen and minerals, movement, weightlifting, grounding. What doctor's going to tell you? Well, go out and get some sunlight, go get some magnesium, go get some exercise. Well, they may say exercise a little bit, but they'll tell you to go walk 100 million steps instead of going to the gym and lifting some weight.
Yeah.
Right. So, and now, any comments about mitochondrial disease in children and how our children are so sick, and the role of our diet in these children? Do we want to talk about that at all?
Well, I think the vaccines are playing a major, major role in screwing up the mitochondria, big time. And plus all the adjuvants that are in there, aluminum, thimerosal, squalene, fetal tissue. I mean, it's like a witch's brew.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And for kids, that's the basis of dysfunction and disease are the vaccines, starting with brain inflammation, and then going to spinal inflammation, and then going to immune system collapse, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's more are dying from taking the vaccines than are being saved from whatever diseases they're supposedly helping with.
Right.
The insurance statistics are showing a 40% increase in mortality rate since the vaccines have been rolled out.
And
Well, that's definitely true with the C vaccine, but the kids are really suffer from it because they're sick chronically for life. The pharmaceuticals
yeah,
companies have them for life.
Well, it's interesting. There was a pediatric practice in Chicago that ran an analysis on over 2,000 of their patients. And the patients that did not get the vaccines had minimal health issues throughout the year. The ones that had the vaccines had the most visits and illnesses. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
that matches the experience of the Pentheus Dutch. What religion are they? I
The
forget what they're
Amish.
called.
Yeah, the
Thank you. Yes, they don't have a whole heck of a lot of the childhood diseases that we think or that society thinks is normal. It just doesn't happen.
Right.
there's no mystery either.
Yeah, exactly. The allopathic system is made to self-perpetuate,
Yeah.
and it self-perpetuates by making us sick from the get-go,
There you
so
go.
that we become permanent customers. Not patience is the wrong word. Patience is a brainwashing word to make us think we're getting a benefit. We're customers of the allopathic system, and we're locked in as soon as they make us sick with a whole bunch of stuff.
I thought we were guinea pigs.
We are that too.
Well, we are that too. Yeah. And we willingly submit to this because of the psychological warfare they place on us, the fear
Yeah.
they put into us.
Yeah.
So, all right, I agree with that. I think that that's a really valid point. We're sick from the beginning. We're a customer for life. So, Dr. Jerry, you were going to start talking about how our listeners can repair their mitochondria. What can they do? Simple terms, and I want to put in a caveat because
Sure.
I think a lot of things that I hear talked about in mice and rabbits and whatever, and the work that I've done studying this, very few of these have been studied in humans. If you agree or disagree, go ahead and let me know.
Yeah, I agree. Because who the heck wants to solve the problem? They have a cash cow. So let me give you 3 ways you can improve your mitochondrial function, enhance your energy. One is eat less. So studies have shown that by cutting back on food consumption, you have fewer demands on your mitochondria. Your production of damaging free radicals declines, and you enhance mitochondrial efficiency. So that's the key. Eat less. I eat my first meal, at lunchtime. So I have that little fasting that I go on. Exercise more, as Dr. Wong mentioned. Exercise tunes up the body, increases the mitochondrial activation through biochemical pathways, and you get the mitochondrial biogenesis, increase in production. And the other important thing is take nutritional supplements that mimic the positive effects of exercise and the caloric restriction. So one of the biggies is resveratrol. It's in red wine. It activates specific genes that stimulate mitochondrial function and biogenesis. The resveratrol has been shown to protect against cardiovascular and neurodegenerative diseases, enhancing antioxidant status, reducing inflammation, and in animals, extend lifespan and retard age-related deterioration. You're talking like 100 to 250 milligrams a day. Another good supplement is L-arginine. It's an amino acid, and it's the precursor for nitric oxide production, which is produced with exercise. And it's very powerful vasodilator. So it increases the blood flow to your organs, your heart, your brain, and everything, and increases vascular health. And we're talking like 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams a day. Alpha lipoic acid, also called lipoic acid or ALL, is also important promoting mitochondrial biogenesis. It's good for general antioxidant support and to treat and prevent neuropathy and other diabetic complications. ALA also helps with your blood sugar, weight control, because it stimulates glucose uptake and increases the burning of fatty acids. Recommended is 600 to 1,200 milligrams of ALA daily. Another biggie is coenzyme Q10. It's a powerful antioxidant present in all the cells and particularly concentrated in the mitochondria. CoQ10 participates in the production of adenosine triphosphate, the high energy packets that fuel your mind and your bodies. And it's part of what they call the electron transfer chain, protects the mitochondria against free radicals. Now, when the men in the white coats put you on statin drugs, it lowers your CoQ10 level with disastrous effects on your heart, liver, and your brain. So these are really important nuggets to digest. Magnesium also optimizes mitochondrial function, very, very powerful and very important in detoxification. So basically, there's a few other little nutrients that help in the process. And basically, vitamin D3 is very, very important also because it has to do with energy production. And that's the name of the game is you need um, lemon and limes, pink salt for your trace minerals, your turmeric, rosemary, ginger, oregano, cinnamon, cloves, cilantro. It puts it in your meals, your soup, or your salads. So the also when you look at your vitamin list, folic acid is not a natural form. It's folate. That's B9, which is the organic form in the B complex. So this is how they cut down on the price and snow you. You think you're getting your one a day vitamin and they're putting a nail in your coffin. Anyway, that's my little 2 cents worth.
All right, I'm going to jump in here, and then we'll have Dr. Wong, our Marine, clean up from the rear and take us home. Look, I think not only we have to take supplements, but I think we have to also get rid of seed oils, have some morning sunlight, get some grounding. Get your bare feet on the ground, in the sand, on the grass, and if you have to, buy a grounding mat or grounding sheets. I think strength training is part of the way of keeping your mitochondria strong. And there's no doubt that CoQ10, the statins destroy it, the mitochondria need it, end of discussion. Manage your blue light and reduce your stress. And there are a mitochondrial 6, and part of that mitochondrial 6 is the ubiquinol, the CoQ10. And something that's making headlines now and is backed by science and human beings is creatine, because your cells' backup energy system is creatine. It's cheap, it's safe, it's effective. It's so effective, Big Pharma's not going to tell you about it. So there are, and I don't want to leave out methylene blue. And I think you should talk to your healthcare provider when you take this. It should be taken in low doses. It is, in my experience and my reading, it jump starts the brain mitochondria like nothing else I've seen. Again, the FDA hates it, and they hate anything that'll work. And my last thought is melatonin. I don't think of melatonin as a sleep hormone. I think of it as a mitochondrial antioxidant that's produced inside the mitochondria themselves. Not common knowledge, but a lot of this you're not going to hear because of our broken system. Dr. Wong?
There was an article by the great granddaddy of anti-aging medicine, Dr. Ward Dean. It's on his website. You can find it. And it's got a title something like Metformin, an underappreciated anti-aging medication, something like that. But his primary gist on the metformin, and this is even before we knew that metformin helped to rebuild the lipid layer around brain cells and to rebuild myelin sheaths, is that the helps the brain to best absorb ATP and activates the mitochondria of the brain to best make ATP, and all that together improves cognition. And I'm going nowhere near the depth that he did in the article, but the article is by Dr. Ward Dean, MD, and again, it had a title something like Metformin, an underappreciated anti-aging drug.
Well, that's
I'm
sure
not a
it's a
drug pusher.
pearl.
I'm a classical naturopath, and I don't push drugs, but when some drugs prove to be effective, and I will tell you that metformin is the drug that the natural health food industry absolutely hates. They think that they can make up for metformin with vanadium, with chromium, with this herb or that herb, and it just doesn't work. 44 years as a naturopath, I've yet to find anything that actually works against, especially type 2 diabetes. But you know, the metformin has advantages over and above being used as a diabetic drug. One of the other great granddaddies of anti-aging medicine said that regardless of age, or excuse me, regardless of blood readings, if you're over 55, you should be on the metformin and you should be on thyroxine, because thyroid function naturally declines, and you can take all the iodine in the world, you can chug Lugol solution from now until hell freezes over, but you're not converting it into T4 or T3. So with that in mind, those are two ways to jumpstart, aside from exercise and the regular nutrition and the antioxidants that you both mentioned. Those are ways of jumpstarting mitochondrial function and the increasing the action and number of mitochondria.
Yeah, that you know, I'm going to put that up there with what you said about 5 or 6 years ago about ivermectin. You were the first one of anyone to explain how ivermectin can be taken, and you were so far ahead of the curve. And I think you are, again, I appreciate you bringing that up, because I had forgotten about metformin, to be honest with you. I had forgotten about that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
One clarification I want to make, Dr. Ron, you mentioned about the seed oils. The adulterated seed oils are bad, but the organic cold pressed ones are anti-inflammatory and are healthy.
Well taken. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into rapamycin now, because that's a whole show in itself. But I think, Dr. Wong, you had mentioned it in some of your mail outs, your emails. Did you do any research into rapamycin as an anti-aging, and does it affect mitochondria? I don't know that, really.
I don't think I have. I might have commented on a research article or two on it, but I'm not that familiar with it.
All right, we'll do a podcast on that, ladies and gentlemen, because it's being pushed as an anti-aging, and I think anything that's anti-aging has to keep the mitochondria young. You have to go to the cellular level. So we'll investigate that as time goes on. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope it would just bring this to your attention, okay? And we hope that you contact us at therebels@mail.com, therebels@mail.com. Let us know what you want us to talk about. If you have any questions, we'll bring them up at the following podcast, which is every Tuesday at 11. And we're on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, and hopefully Instagram. So, get in touch with us, therebels@mail.com. So I have a little closing statement here. I just hope that you can reclaim your power, be the CEO of your own body. Your bodies aren't failing you. The truth is, our system has failed you first, and your mitochondria are waiting for you to change all that and wake them up. It's not too complicated. Move, feed your cells, build your muscle, protect your light. And don't outsource your health to people who profit from you staying exhausted and filling prescription after prescription. You're not broken. We have to get you unplugged. And we hope you'll come back and listen to more on the Real Health Rebellion Radio.
Well said. And to further amplify that, never trust a doctor who has dying plants in the
Oh my gosh! And Dr. Wong, I mean, you are so well written. I mean, people know how many articles you've written. I mean, I always have you up there with Dr. Pete, and all your work on hormones. And we didn't even mention hormones in this discussion. Maybe just hit on that for a second. What do you think about your hormonal balance other than thyroid, which is, do we have to be careful of too much estrogen or whatever with our mitochondria?
Estrogen causes muscle loss. It's catabolic to muscle. It's a wonder to me that allopathic medicine pushes estrogen to increase bone density, because the more estrogen you take, the more muscle you lose. More muscle you lose, the less your bones get fed, and the less stress is on the bone. The bones, the proper definition of Wolff's Law is not what's in the dictionary. The proper definition of Wolff's Law is this: that mineralization is laid into bones along axial lines of stress. So that means you got to compress the bone, you got to tug it, you got to pull on it in order for the piezoelectric effect within the crystalline structure of the calcium and magnesium to attract more minerals into the bone. You can't do that if you don't have the muscles to tug and push and pull. So the more estrogen you have, the more muscles you lose, more fat, more water weight you carry, and the less able you are to move around and perform all the different functions that muscle is supposed to do. Testosterone reverses that. If we can get as close in anti-aging medicine, we look to get the testosterone level back to as close to 20 years old as we possibly can. We don't do like the bodybuilders do, where we go to supraphysiologic doses. Stay within the physiologic norms, but the physiologic norms for a 20-year-old, not a 60, 70, 80-year-old. And when that happens, UC Berkeley did studies back in the 90s showing that just alone, even without exercise, increased muscle mass, increased bone density, increases size, shrinks. When we become estrogen dominant, and when it shrinks, all of our drive for life is gone. Between the medial amygdala and the substantia nigra that make dopamine, that's where our drive for life comes from. You want to get out, you want to add an addition to your house, you want to work on your car, you've got this hobby, you got that project, you want to go out and do whatever. That all comes from the medial amygdala and the substantia nigra making dopamine. When the substantia nigra shrinks because there's a lack of testosterone, then we just kind of, I wake up in the morning, but I'm not going to do much today. I might, sweep a little bit and stuff. But, so all of our drive is gone right out the window.
And that's when you say, yes, dear, can I have my Alani?
Yeah. To someone who's as testosterone dominant as you are, yeah. Oh, excuse me, as dominant.
I think
as you are, yeah.
Dr. Wong, I think we got to do a show, and it really ripped my guts the other day when I saw an advertisement where they're talking about decreasing the testosterone levels with prostate cancer. In my opinion, the research out there shows you should increase it, and they're killing people. Because I had a patient who I resurrected with liver cancer, and then his prostate had a problem. They put him on a drug, and he was dead in a week.
Yeah.
Well,
there's one suppressed study from the University of Chicago Med School where they directly injected testosterone into a cancerous prostate. The thing shrunk, and the CA went into remission.
Well, how many cancers of the prostate do you see in 20 and 30-year-olds? I mean, gosh.
None.
Yeah, I mean, there it is, high testosterone. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Wong, Dr. Jerry, Dr. Ron on the Real Health Rebellion Radio. We just have a great time bringing you information you're not going to get on mainstream media. So tune in next week. We will have another interesting topic, and we wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Have an attitude of gratitude. Although there's lots of things going on in this world, we still live in a great, and in fact, the greatest country in the world. Be happy, and everybody have a great turkey dinner. Get some of that tryptophan and calm down. Okay, we'll see
God
you.
bless. Be well, folks.
Yeah, stay well.
All right, so we have Freddie taking us home. Maybe.
Hey everybody, Dr. Ron's finished for today. I hope you got some good wisdom for what the man had to say. If it's all about good health, he's the man you got to see. He has a lot more answers for you. So tune in next week when the doctor is in the house. Or when the doctor is in the house. And let the doctor know what's bothering you. When the doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house.